Of course, all of us know the reason why we're here, but then we also want to remind ourselves the purpose why we're here. It's very important that we keep our discussions very private, because I must remind you that the program is live. This program will go live. We'll see AYB 9 Salon Saturday all over the world, and all the other media houses that we are going to call now, all day before we saw them, they live. So please, I'm going to encourage we, even though they make contributions, very conscious of the fact that we are live across the world. And what we are discussing today is very important for Sierra Leoneans within the remotest of communities. Introduction of the chairman. Of course, I'm the chairman. Nobody only for introduce me. The only then I had been Tunde Joe Smith, an activist and a feminist. I get a book up there. Edmond, we organized this nice senior colleague at the activism world. So that an introduction. As we go along, after everything we interact a bit for long better because of time. At this point, I want to welcome formally to this town hall meeting, Tobago Collar Conference. It is very important that stakeholders the Pula come and we discuss these very important issues about fair price, but the equal effect that it will have on citizens of Sierra Leone. We are happy that we are hearing about the induction of fair price, more price, but then what does that mean for Yambalu? What does that mean for Gonjo somewhere? How will it affect the transportation costs? It will come that is what we are seeking. By equal effects, the price of rice will come down, that is what we are seeking. So, by way of the introduction statement, I want for Neil and let us know that that is what Native Consortium focus on. Yes, we wanted the price down, but when it comes down, what did that mean for the local citizens in terms of transportation costs, but also the cost of living, the economy, how it affects the Leoneans. So, we want to thank all the one that we travel for camp on behalf of Native Consortium. Thank you for coming. We'll see some of the candidates, Boston Gona guest houses, society, they also have Kayaba. If this is your first time to go, welcome. Students with here, we want to welcome as well from all the 16 districts. We make sure say, by the special grace of God, we extend the invitation across the districts. PIA also was invited, and we hope they will be here. Feel free when we come to questions and answer session. I must guide that because of time. Alright, thank you so much. So because we are in Bo, we have a Kakwa chief, the Bo chief, therefore do the welcoming. We just touch the Afro side. I don't get that right thing. We go for welcome, call out for come welcome, all man. But at the end of the speech, I want for let me know say because of time, and we know we not going to allow all man to ask questions. And we say all man go and ask questions, especially for students. So if a student at this point, when Edmond will make a presentation, I will encourage you to create your indulgence, so please compare notes. Look at questions so that they will similar and compound them to one. Because we would like to have 5 questions from students across the country, but also for our journalists and bloggers. Try to also knit in your questions so that we have 5 questions from you, bloggers and journalists. Why? Because we are going live and also the time limited. We also conscious say some people get for travel today because by way of my understanding, we are encouraging people to just to stay for nights. One night we don't stay because we are financial, we get funding constraint for doing this program. So one for states then small guidelines. Of course we have lunch and reimbursement of transport and other things will be done at your various hotels and guest houses after the program. Thank you so much. At this point, can you join me as we welcome the Kakpa chief we host? Don't know his name now. Okay, we do it. Let me clap for Idadi. Joe Giovanni.
on the table and I this afternoon or morning. We are pushing a couple. We introducing a very small one. But before I get one, I get a short statement for me. The statement about them one thing, who they don't come far, they don't come. Now this area, how we call the area. The moment when you don't come, if they come from freedom, the certain place where you will reach, you have to say societies, then say go. If you are coming from Kalan and as inside the way they reach, they have societies, then say go. And other places all they say go. Then when they understand the many language, when they say go, now you this, now you this, now you get up. When they say go, now you get up. So when you come to go, now you get up. Yes. The never one they don't go. They don't do a lot for you. The Busa will start with the don't know. They will all day down with the top. Not to a citizen of Bo and to be so for me. And then one when they come Bo and then one for you. But when they say Bo, now you get up. What is that is other thing? As we brought up in our talk, we talk a little bit about the language man and world, the sustainability. How you will make it become sustainable. How you will make what you will do with the better you. Like even this work they don't can do now. What you will do, what you will better me. Anything where you go down will do say, oh, how you hold go, and then you live there, and so you live happily. How you hold go, and so you commodity, the high commodity. You will high commodity, how you hold it. Because the moment when you can do, if you hold it fine, if you left it, so then they will even call you some people and some human and from freedom. When they become from the bowl. By the time when they transfer me, if they go switch bowl, I mean they transfer me from switch bowl, they don't go one go again. But when they transfer them, they feel very hard for Ghana go offline, or come offline. But when they say go back now, they say switch bowl. So, like even this kind of guy we look at today, the journalist said, Chairman, and all other people they hold are doing here today, now don't gather with for voting. But now we can arrange something where it will better with all. But more, but we need people of Bo. Bo is a small area in the Kappa Kingdom. So we say they can welcome us today, and then they just welcome us Bo, and welcome us in the Kappa Kingdom. Because Kappa Kingdom is divided into 8. I mean into 11 sections. And out of that 11, now 8 they outside. Only 3 in the city of Bo. So how do people they live? If anybody want to come, now Bo, pass it out by transport. And transport business owner don't put on capacity. We will grant so much of American system to discuss something about that. Because for me to eat good food, now Bo there, now transport. Now transport. Everything in the camp, either come from freedom or from our surrounding villages, or all they come. The one from Bo, the job of Bo. So, let me do my work really. Chairman, journalists, other members, the civil guests, everybody who around Kanaya, are the welcome here at the city of Bo and in the Kappa Kingdom. I want them to all feel free, let me express yourself, let me hold this meeting with them, to all come with joy. You are all welcome.
Thank you. Vital. Not clap for him, give you more than that. You know, when you plan a place, then you host welcome you so you say that you get you alone. Remember where we came 2019, I will get it 2021. Right. When they post me, I'm not working. So I'm not going to leave my family, I'm not serving nobody. But when the time comes for that, I go back. I was like, what? You have asked me, why you don't let go so? So that's the story for another day. So Bo is a good place and you're welcome. And the part of one thing, how you hold Bo, so Bo will hold you. I go make you on where you know a place that will hold Bo fine, so Bo will be nice for you as we all can. We go before. Because we are here to discuss about the reduction of the pump price of fear, as we don't see Zara below beginning 26. And recently, because of the pressure from native consortium, the advocacy where they do, we see the secret there where they try for people where we don't know. We realize that just a few days ago, other people that don't begin follow the queue, they don't even use them. So for let me get a tip of the iceberg, from one of the pioneers there, we begin with no say, of course, shell until we don't leave the candle. One, give a video for Zala. We want to blog, we do with them. Now, one of the stations there, across Freetown, we talk about the reduction of this fear. So we're going to stay put and we will watch the video briefly. From there, we will get statement and from the chairperson, the head of Native Consortium. Thank you. Welcome, as you come, friend, seats for Sino. Okay, I think there are a couple of videos that we will do. Alright, one for say plenty thank you to want to blog for do that video there for me. Like a couple of one they will do. Actually, if you putting the person in the say, even though the volume will be too sharp, they say they're glad and they're happy because Zala make them know say fear really they come down and it when you don't go to TV for go buy fear, the money when they get for buy, in fact, they don't buy more fear than what they for be buy. So that is one of the things that we Native Consortium stand for, where they push for. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to also remind you, as we discussed today, Native Consortium not only interested in the reduction of the pump price. Now, waiting down they mean for Sierra Leoneans, 9 Native Consortium care about. Like we had this welcome register. He was saying, for Kanabo, na transport you they use. For that food common na village, Kanaboya, na transport you they use. So if the fuel pump price can up, how then they will affect, the cost of food commodities and the transportation. That is what we are here for. And that's that they make Native Consortium they push this. So I'll be introducing somebody we don't like for them introduce them. Unfortunately, I have to do that. Please will permit me for introduce somebody who can take me to a presentation. We will open the eye and tell me about the nitty-gritties of things that we are aware about, who will make aware now, even as we discuss and get questions. Allow me to introduce this national figure. Of course, This person starts the activism as a trade unionist working for Jim Shackleton and Sons as a labor leader. And up till now, he still not spent like 30 years and a veteran and retired activist. Even though the first for retire, we're still calling him because our person, we don't feel the pain, don't go through him as a tribunal person, and we also feel saying he need for advocates. In terms of education, he holds a double master's in economics and finance, certified accountant, and I can tell you, you know, like why they read all the one that I go wonder all the information there. So he got postgraduate diploma in post-legislative from University of London School TV, and currently now one of the chairman for Parliament CSO Network. For over 25 years, they don't practice in the field of audit. That means you don't do a lot of audits for organizations there, and accountancy and tax business. So he quite of fame with the subject matter. Now, forensic editor, we don't practice in the US and also Canada for a long time. So he get plenty experience by this year also. This person also, and among the few African then, we also a property valuator, you know, and you don't work for Sunako Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so blessed to get this person where they are so. And I will continue from talking to them where you know if you say I will talk. Like I tell you, he doesn't want people to talk about all these things. He does gold and diamond valuation for the past 20 years. And also now somebody like me, we born a Koiduto Kodon distance area. Ladies and gentlemen, this person also don't study a lot of things them, and you don't do good things them but petroleum, and hold a postgraduate diploma in petroleum, and also one of the lead people there we push the first field prize in formula in Sierra Leone in 2025. Presently, I will tell you something, wait something you know what I know. It is study for a PhD. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are happy like me, can we make welcome by standing and clapping for this wonderful person? We don't make we enjoy wait to not begin just so. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Mr. Edmond Abu. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Marcus, slow. So, firstly, I want to welcome you again because just like the chairman say, feel grateful not to say that money we get for all people in the hotel. We put people in the hotel for more than 56 minutes or small thing. And of course, I want to thank the chief. I will have to do my presentation in English, but the chairman will not caution me say that talk Creole. So I don't do Creole because in the whole life and the way international. As I talk to my the World Bank and IMF, they stream, they watch this thing now in Washington and they want from home. So I will beg say one time I go for going to English, you know. So I want to tell you all thank you. So man we come late yesterday. I remember say I be here for almost 1 o'clock night. I want to thank the hotel them, the tea hotel them, and the one that we get out. For now, thank you. The bloggers them and they pray that God will make on our return from that different district them. Safely, this is not the first engagement. These are the first because people will not tell us only for more apply. So now we can apply. But it's very costly. Forget at this kind of occasion, it costs you almost close to 300,000. Very, very expensive. So, and we tell God thank you that God make me host this program and bring the many people in our tonight. So today we can look some exposure. You know, I tell people they say the game don't after, game don't big. And today, if you look at your slide, I want you guys to have your pen and papers because today we are going to expose some secrets. And I want you guys to understand the dynamics, the untrue truth around petroleum, the actors. And by the time you leave this place, you're comfortable with any lectures on petroleum. And it comfortably, and when they go on the slide, no worry, they go on free. These are free consultants here. We give people, especially, I want to welcome students from Fube College, Unimark, IPAM, Jala, Every Nation College, and all the other colleges then, one for Tenon Ateki, the people for Kono, Kaine, one for Kabala, Falaba, all the people who come, one for Tenon Ateki. So, this is a town hall meeting, we're not going to feel free and relaxed. So, what we can talk about the thing is a town hall meeting on the yes, Mr. Rogers. I don't know if I see clear. Because I really want to keep them very, very short. Now they see clear, right? Wow. Okay. Town hall meetings. I will not share the slide with you now. It didn't want to. It didn't share loaded. I just say share loaded belong. Share loaded.
Share network.
Share network.
Share network. Share folks.
Yes. And even yes, share network. They don't share. So I look at social media. I did it. And it's still right. Suppose we don't forget the slides, but I really feel safe for me to get up. So the answers of this town meeting are collectively a price going up to 22 years. And we can give justification. Want to prosecute this, want to clinically prosecute this case. This will not go to court. We are not prosecuting in court. We prosecute the oil markets as in the court of public opinion. Clinically, with empirical evidence, compelling evidence. Some people they sit down when they watch me and in America say, Edmond, how you come for that you will say here for going up to 22? We are going to answer these questions today on this town hall. So our point is wanting to go down to 22. But more importantly, and let me say this, our overarching drive, the main objective of native consumption is not only products, but the pass-through effect of what it should reflect on transport price goal to goal. Take for instance from Freetown to Bo is how much? By Kama? 120? Fine. So looking at the proportionate reduction by now, both price from Freetown to Bo is supposed to be 100,000. I'm going to justify that. You are going to do. I'm just going to provide a platform. Yes, so you do the calculations. What? Or unofficial and private people. Good. So our target is not the petrol stations. Our target is not on the product. Our target is how the reduction should reflect on the transport price. So if Mr. Rogers here get for pay the booking, you understand? Transport, tell you for come. Let's say the transport price don't reduce to 75. So meaning if they give picking 20 years now, 15 years they give picking. So you only make another disposable income of 5 years. That is the central focus of native consumption. I want people to understand this. That our central focus, Mr. ONS, the man from ONS, want to welcome you. The PRA man, NRA, and of course the Standard Bureau. We invited the Standard Bureau. So the central focus is how this fear will affect, because fear will affect Ogri and Bala. Economists call this composite demand, because when any slight increment in the fuel price, it affects every Ogri and Bala chief in the market. So meaning you're gonna market how did it affect I call them G blocks for. So if I go go buy the G blocks for GB got on about when I come there. So fit up, then the transport price go up, it affect Ogri G blocks in Bala. And that is why they make the return as a fear like political commodity. They talk with the whole government. And these foreign marketers are so powerful. They can undo you, they can make you, and they can break you. That is why we can't. And this is the crusade we've launched for the past. We have fought with the IMF and the World Bank in Washington from 2007. Now, when they invite me to Washington, they give me 5-star hotel again. I say, no, not speaking out hotel. Or they tell me the truth. Because the IMF say, no, government will put subsidies. So, no. This subsidy they have, so government will continue for subsidize. So this has been our argument. Yeah? Now, firstly, let's be serious. Fair price matrix. You said it's supposed to go down to 22. Yes. Go to the next slide. I wish the audience could see this. Yes, justification. Fine. One, justify why government should reduce the pump price of fuel to 22. What do you mean government for put down to 22? Huh? Okay. 1.1, fuel price has dropped in the world market by 20%. So justification number one, fuel price don't go down in the world market. It has plummeted in the world market by 20%. Why did fuel price increase? What was the driver? It's because of the Russian-Ukraine war. Russia alone produces about 1 million barrels a day. So Russia is a big player in Africa. Mark you, Iran also is partially under sanction. So when they sanction Russia because of the fire, the first shots, since they fired the first shot in Ukraine, ever since then to now, this is the first time fear has plummeted or has reduced in the world market by less than $6 per barrel. It has been gradually, arithmetically going down. So when you look at it, it has reduced by 20%. So now mark that figure, 20% in one market. Therefore, the demand and therefore is demanding the government is demanding government to reduce the pump price of fuel by 70%. So we are not saying government should proportionately reduce by the same 20%. So you see, we've been very conservative. Been very nice with the government. We are not saying government also follow. Now mark you, there are two drivers. There are two major drivers. One, the world market price. Two, the exchange rate. If you guys are following the exchange rate, the Leone has been doing well as against the dollar. Thanks to the central bank government. And it's a driver. So that is why most often than not, when you see you say, I don't fear going on, and you see the same fear, the price remain the same in Guinea like that, because our news have been very bad. Because we had a central bank government who only knows textbook economics. And now, thanks to the current bank government, it's doing very, very fine. So what to take this to? Now, so this is the next one. Now, we are saying it's supposed to be 70%. Right? Now, so 70%, that is what we are demanding the government to reduce the pump price of fuel. What diesel and petrol? 70%. I'll give you the that number one. The fuel price has reduced by 20%. Oh, sorry. Number one, the fuel don't go down by 20%. 20% only demand 70%. And number two, the exchange rate. So the calculations. What is the current price? Or what was the price then? 30 euros. Remember? 30 euros also. And then the government all appearing is to keep bringing that down the grand down 27.3. Not only they up to now they talk. And the government official price also. Fine. Well, ever since you don't go down to that 27 and the 20% reduction, now they ask. But we're not saying it's 20, it's 17. Look at the 17. So when I calculate 17%, when I go school, 17% by 23.7. How much down there? When I do a quick calculation, one more time. 27.3 times 17%. How much? Quick. Well, from my slide is 4.6. 4.6 euros. So if you reduce 4.6 euros minus 7.3, I give you that number. What's the product of that? 22.7 euros. Yes. 22.7 euros. And the 7 euros is the exchange rate appreciation. So plus minus, we are safe to demand from the government to reduce the pump price of it. And that is why we said that these oil markets are making profits. If you need to sell at 22, they still make profits. Why if you say somebody does gamble on 220 to government, they make profits? That, for instance, the ECM 27 for the past 5 months to government. It make profit. It's still in business. So that is what this is just to tell you that waiting native Consortium on the talk is true. That they are making extra profits. So it's 22.7. I think this figure is justifiable. 22.7. So you see, when I ask for 20, we just ask for 22.7. Good. So what's it? So the appreciation of the loans, of course. Next slide. Good. They say the Ministry of Transport should ensure that the proportionate reduction in fuel price reflects on all means of land and sea transportation. Not air, because our ticket is so expensive. The last time I checked, the female team, if our news, our female team, shark is travel to be. So, yes. All of that tells you that our tickets are so expensive, super expensive. So, we are asking, and this please, guys, this is where I want us to rest our heads. If fuel price has reduced by that amount, it's supposed to reflect on the transport price. No, so. Because this has been the trend. Now, so we don't see it. From 1961, also, we fear go up the price of transport. Go to Freetown to McKinney, Freetown to Kabbalah. So what you can do, you just put out a good condom. But unfortunately, the Minister of Transport disappoints the people of Sierra Leone. When PRA reduced the pump price of fuel from 30 to 27, Mr. Chairman, this man not reduce the pump price. He not reduce it. If I make us, that's disgraceful. That's very unfortunate. So we don't get we get something like 30 years minus 27.3, almost than 2 years or 2 better than back. Yes. You know, reduce them. So in there we keep up. We can't come for an hour. So now they don't begin put up on the side. Not to PRA tell them they don't begin put up. Or man they put you on. You know, let's grandpa tell me say, you know, I heard from this very district, my father, who being the man. 1985, I go for good in this society, and I say, when you marry for woman, he said, always make sure say, when you woman, they let not unite. He said, because if they unite, they gang up against you, and then when they want to go cheat the other, and they watch man from the other. Say so, always make sure say, when then you cook, let them know say, they do the best cook, so when they're ready for cook, and they cook over. And I think that's analogy is so true. That analogy is so true. Now I saw it. 5 years ago, me and big brother, you know, we no family, we always say we he got 5 wives. And this 5 wives, this man very peaceful, said that we get 1 wife. Very peaceful. Because they always do that divide rule. And this is what the native constitution has done in this sector. We make sure so divided by using salary. So the game not works up now there. It can be clear in the closed station. They will begin to lie. Fear no day to lie. It's not going to tell them. No one will tell you. Because when you not be careful, let's not let it happen. All my women around that Sabi Frito, Regent Graft Road. From when Zala puts a price up, all Mama will tell you because Zala they don't take all the customer. Now when Zala not put a lawyer study, except don't follow. It's waiting me. I do. What did I do? Months ago, they make a document. I have those documents. Saying the law for put price down. Zala no sign. You also need to make the people of Sierra Leone appreciate Zala. Now go to this one. 2.1. When the PRA reduced the pump price of fuel to 30 to 27, the Ministry of course I don't make mention of that. What is the percentage reduction of petrol price 30 years to 20 years? Let's say at 16.6%, right? It's 19.9 with round up effect for the percentage reduction of petrol when it's dropped to 30 to 25. So now when I calculate for me, the fuel price come for 30 to 25. Waiting at the percentage reduction. How you calculate that? Take the 5. 25 minus 30 almost. 5 also. So if you want the percentage reduction, take 5 divided by 30, that's 100. I calculate that for the mouse. Yes, let's students say.
5 divided by 30.
5 divided by 30. 6. So down to 16.6. Nearest decimal. So that is the reduction. 16. So as it stands now, we are demanding, we are all of us, we are demanding that if the transport price, ferry, boat, Pakistan boats, the transport to the one apply. That's 16.6% how we demand. And now let's see how we benefit the movement. Now, not put that there for the transport price from Freetown to go because some delegates come on Freetown. Most of the bloggers are on Freetown and go. 16.6%. How much are the current transport like 120 also? Yes. So now calculate 120 times 16% back. 16% times 120. Am I going too fast? No. Can you understand? Yes, sir. We need it. This can short down one meeting, but 19 points. Beautiful. 19.2 million. So now therefore pull na the boat transport also. Let's say plus minus, let's say 20 million. So if you take 120 less 20, that's 120. No, 20 less 120, now what's that? Good. So as it stands now, the transport price between both to Freetown supposed to be 100. That is what we demand. Well, I'm not glad for salary. Because I need to go back there. So now 120. So when I went to Mokambia, I could knock up. I'm the man. How much for Freetown to put knock up? Jimmy got how much for Mokambia? From Freetown to Mokambia to go. No, Freetown. Okay, I want to control
120.
120. Good. So you calculate Stanley. So now put an ICE worker find us. I want to work find us to put not me to tell you. To go Kamaton to Yada to Yada. Not me to bus station. So take 16% of 10 years, almost. No, 20 million, no. No, they say what I find was not do the calculation also, do the calculation. The current price of the fair price is 30 minus this is that. I see what I find this. What I find? 2 million. $7 million, no, 7 million. Now 23% reduction. If you go down to the, let's say, if you come to 23, when I'm not saying what the fair station is saying 23 now. No. What of block? Almost this is 23. See how it's see, almost new boy. But I was publisher.
You know, it was the price of street.
No, which one?
Freetown at 5,000.
Oh.
5 days for the phone.
And it's good. Good. Mass enterprise. Okay, now you break the news to me. That you know review about it. So, let me say, government not say, they're not listening to utility. Don't say, government want to 23 news. PRA puts pressure. They reduce meaning for future government price cannot to 23. I look like. Not take what I find 23 news. Meaning 23 news, what is the percentage reduction? And 23. You want to calculate that? Okay. If you come out to 23, they take 30. 23 less 23 less 30 now. 7.
Yes.
When you take 7 years from 30 minutes, almost 23 years. Yeah. So divide the 7 years now, divide by 30. Almost then you know the percentage. 23%. So now, what assumes the government they put the price to 23. So meaning the percentage reduction may be 33%. Also? Yeah. No, not the percentage for every people understand the percentage. Not all man having mathematics there. So there's 10 years cannot 23%. 10 years, you get 23% cost of 10 years, almost done it. At 2.3. So take 2.3 less 10. 7.7. So what can find was as it stands now, if government puts another 20, almost all for the pay. Okay, it's 8 million. 75. So they don't say 8 million. So by right, so this what is the native control level? We do the therefore justify the benefits and how sweet and how it look like. So if Lahan Galu want to send a people go school now, that 10 years will be the same, you know they get 10 years and 8 years. So you don't get a disposable income of what? 4 years. That is not it. 4 years. 4 years. Next slide. So if you reflect that on keke, bike, okada, so some keke distance are 5. Some okada distance are 5, also? Yes. Then some, yes, now by distance. Yes, so when I say 10 years and 5 years. So let's say that keke and okada, when you take 10 years. If na 10 years, now meaning how much you pay now? 8 years. So keke for go to 8 years. If na 5 years for keke, how much you will pay now? 4 years. You see how it's sweet? Why all of us supposed to defend this thing with our lungs, liver, and intestine? We need to defend it. We need to advocate. We need to be. We need to be. We not for compromise with this thing. Why government for put a door? So you see, so keke, okada, bike, all everything they go. Return to, in fact, between return to most and go to a signal, it will be almost 92 years. Yes. By 23%. So meaning someone will come, whoever will say, okay, give 90 years, that 2 years, don't offend for 2 years. Also, because I'm not going to you, we say, no, pay 95. Ferry, how much do they pay na ferry? How much they put block of 15 years, how big? How much should last pay na ferry? 15 years. What's the first last one? What's the first last? Fine. This reduction should not only reflect on road transport, but on sea transport too. So if they are paying agreeing to ferry junction, 15, you take 23%, almost now, almost the ferry junction. 11. So when I think about that and see why all of us is not a native consortium fight, why we need, because it should reflect on every other transport. And when you do that, at the end of the day, that block for the provide a volume, he said they can't do. Let me know. Now, let's talk about the revolution that will take place. And what's it mean? Because the commander understand this is a what we call fear revolution. It is a revolution. Now, what's like? They say the benefits. It has 2 benefits. Now, 2 benefits this revolution gets. It benefits with the consumer, then it benefits the dealers. Now, now educate yourself more. Introducing the fair sector and how it works. Yeah, there are 3 sector players in the downstream sector. You have 2 types of sector. We have the upstream land and the one that they extract, we get oil, we go deep oil, like Nigeria. This is not the extract, this is not to the one where they mine the oil. This way they can now call the downstream. So now Makando, we have 3 players. 3 players in downstream sector. 3 players of the cost one, we have the OMCs, oil marketing companies, the OMCs, write them down. The OMCs, oil marketing companies, who are they? They are the importers. And they become the fear. The importers. And they can't show them. The oil marketing, the importers. Yeah? When you want to spell catastrophe, you want to spell the cat. So let's firstly spell the cat. Second person is the storage. The storage, now the one where they get the bunkerage. And most often is now on a cyber we can invest for this storage. For the university students, for the media, it may interest you that Salon has one of the smallest storage facilities. Very unfortunate. Based upon our last research, we found out that we have about close to about 220,000 metric tons. And the other the sad thing we don't have to Salon. All of this storage in Sierra Leone, now we get and Sierra Leone and we get now the government of Sierra Leone, but the past government they don't sell it. Private sector. But for instance, what we call MPT was used to be BP, British Petroleum. It was sold in 1985, 89. The one they went there, when the employees there, and they now become shareholders. Oh, they are doing fine. They have been doing fine. People like people like Unico, but these are powerful guys now. So from employees become shareholders. And later, they transform it to big N and big. For now, a small N, and so meaning not only get a big public cooperative thing. Now it's a purely private. So now MP down. Now I get the story. The other one will get and the next one is distribution. So I've spoken about two players. One, importers, two, the storage, and three, the distribution. And the distribution, we have two players. And 98% of the players are on this sector, distribution. We have two players. One, the tanker drivers, when I take note. Two, the oil, the dealers, the owners of the petrol station. Call them dealers. Now they get 98% of the people who need to fear. Now the importation are just few, very few. Now they can't mean that for our identification. Don't understand. So you see the distribution. Now, who are the old players? Who are they want to know the old and new players, the old and new OMCs, the cartel. Who are they? And they lift the very front and see them. Player. Talk about that. One, get Leone. Well, Leone and MP are the same Mama Papa Bonde. Are the same owners, but they get that. Leone used to be Safeco. Just like I don't go to the background of MP. I don't also go to the background. Leone used to be Safeco. In fact, originally it used to be Shell. You remember Shell? From Shell we get Safeco. From Safeco and Leone, and they buy all, for instance, inside Long the that's station, all the Leone now we have the new one at Shemingo. So that's it. So they are the OMCs. The other one, they Connect. Well, the history of Connect, it used to be me work on Mobile. I work on Mobile way back as an accountant. It used to be Mobile. These are the change to Total. In fact, Total name self, and then as for places, where they get Total. But they don't, it is now Connect. So they are all players. It's not new. Now change of inside no more. And it's inside the number they change. Now all yes, no one call that. So you guys, and at the same place, and when I just change ownership, just the way we get Airtel, you can say, then now we get owned now. So it's possible. So now we get the other one. So you know Connect now. You know there's the history of Connect. Fine. Then the next one here is what they call Malado. When Malado Naya, invite them. Well, okay, fine. Malado, really, people feel Malado is an OMC. Malado not OMC, a distributor. But plenty of people still say an OMC. No, not OMC. A distributor. I don't tell like the distributors, right? Who are they the distribution chain, the supply chain? Who are they? The distributors. And the dealers. So this is where Malado is. So Malado is not really an OMC. That makes sometimes they don't really get power to do certain things like others. Good. So now let us see the new OMCs, the new players, the new kids in the block. And that's what you want to change go to. We change kids I don't know. But the one we can fresh like Malado. Malado came fresh. And they start for Leone PlayStation from start. So now new old player. Who are the new players? We have three of them. One, we get Eco Energy. Take note. Eco Energy, in fact, then they import now, and the storage nobody gets. Then they buy from APP. Only the media computer, and get that. Because they can invite you for the launch, you can just go to the one, they understand. Eco Energy and APP. Eco Energy don't take over from APP. So there's no APP. Eco Energy, and they get the storage. The other one we call it Aminata. Aminata is a Liberian company. In fact, this F1 is to the big one of the biggest salon companies. We get money the water. They did Liberia, they give episode of it. The politician and then get back. In fact, they use this year business if you don't turn sign up for a money long the funds. Most of the politicians across the aisle. So you get Aminata. Aminata is a Liberian business, and Liberia is that they don't get storage. They have about 20 to 25,000 metric tons. So Aminata is a new king in the block. But the time that the relationship with Aminata is out. And what if you want to OMC now? The OMC now that the other import also fine. So Aminata, but then when they want to distribute OMC, they can be distributed back. They get agents, then they get dealers. They just they call them no more. They say, okay, they call also, okay, if you go to UK, they can put you as dealer. But I mean, know the price, I mean, tell you, I pay you. And sometimes you have independent distributor, actually dealers, whether they get them home, and they don't money. When they don't want the daily, now they, if you can't fear, now they put the target, then they don't make the game don't back down. So, you get Aminata. Aminata, now importer, then a distributor, but they get 50 stations. I think they get marking. Whatever come marking. I don't Antonina Highway. Almami. So, our assassin don't change. Fine. Almami has been its end before all these years. Why make it change? Why make most of the change? Because of the margin. And I can explain to my secrets. And the dealers margin, the margin they get. So these are the players. They get Zara. Zara originally started as a distributor, as a dealer. And then later, they become, please do not take it, please do not have destruction. We don't like on there. We don't like take it. So these are the new players, Zara. Now, next slide. Now, the benefits of the revolution. How they don't benefit? Who they don't benefit? The revolution. Please, we make provision for chairs at the back of the chair. How they don't benefit people the benefits of the revolution? The benefits of the new revolution of the dealers. One. Hello?
Hi.
Please.
Don't pay attention, please.
Hey. Between 2010 and a year so native construction get problem with dealers. The dealers there. Thank God, no, they confuse dealers with OMC and also. Like the one that they did this station, the dealers there. When they confuse again. Now, between 2010 to 2020, what was their profit margin? And 500 euros. All euros. Meaning for any 1 liter we sell, and 500 euros. God be able to secret the next spokesman. Between 2010 to 2020, now 500 euros. Then they get 1 liter. 500. New euros now more than 55 cents. No, new euros. 5 cents. 5 cents. 5 cents new euros. 5 cents. Yeah? 500 euros money. New euros and 5 cents. Between 2020 to 2024, what was their profit margin? Now 1 euros. Then the profit margin. 1 euros. Or for any first all money now 1,000. New money now 1 euro. So the dealer there for any sale they sell and 1 euro, then that be the profit margin. Take to 2024, then that be the profit margin. Now they cannot be secret by the small position. They're all over the place now. Now, if one big position, you as one. All side. Now 1 euro. 1 euro. Then that be the profit. For tanker we have a let's get the margin at 750. And sadly, and let this go on record. For let the get us 1 euro, native position, Leone advocated vigorously. Even some of them in the local stations. I mean, this is on radio television. I said government for increase the margin to 1 euro. Now so they take it to 1 euro. Now, between 20, when the new players, meaning when the revolution come out, when Zara they come out, when Aminata they come out, how do you play? So meaning if the dealer they give you 1 euro, and they sell at 30 euros, that almost the dealer they sell, almost the OMC they sell you. If you give 1,000 euros, 1 euro margin. So meaning they sell you at 29 euros. Do you understand? Yeah. Like the cage?
Yeah.
So now 29 years. So when the new player they come, when Zala they come, what did they do? Then they begin to give them for 20. No, they begin to give them 26 years. When I scatter the game now. Because by the owner they see them from the top, when they see what they under them, what they end there. So this are the things where they end there. Because when Aminata they come, they begin to sell cheap. When I remember the way after selling orange can where after selling gold can this country. They make you feel contest of Mangalo blow. One is sleep money. Always in the if I go hospital, we're going to hospital, say, we go say, low. Africa, I mean, they are lucky people. People who don't know, say now, sweet poison will eat. But after said, change now. Then show them two color. So this is the evolution. Look at that. So then begin to make profit of videos. They expose them to the profit. And they say, oh, so many things that's what they begin what of job with. So they begin balance MP. They begin to buy now to Salah. Aminata. The other guy. You see how the evolution go? So what did they do? They said drop their own price. Now as I talk to you now, when you are going to sell at 27, you know what they sell it there? 21, 22. If the man sell 23 to me 82, must not say, and they make profit. So imagine almost the same year. When I see the point, and they don't sell this 27 for long, for almost 1 year now. So it's about that means campaign for you, on sweet for the man. So it's a battle for deal. So now make you see when I see the jingle scatter there, the cartel is coming. Almost put the price up. Now what did happen? The dealer there, so the dealer there now, the man gang up against this big player. I get confused. They also they say they were immediate. But that one they don't fight and they talk for them. I don't want them. I said some of them they want use this. They want tell you the magic. I bless some of them because I won't begin talk to President Bill government for let them increase the magic. So if you are teaching now, I can't flex now. That flex, I go send. No more. They send you at the. I get the audio messages. Somebody they free, they hide now. So this is the evolution. So the evolution not benefit two people. It benefit the consumer, then it benefits the dealers. Now they say don't realize. And because it benefit the dealers, now what is some dealer they will be petroleum? Hopeful, I need a big petroleum. When I watch this space, you see the proliferation of petroleum all over because they make super profits. So that is the evolution because of these new players. Now compare that to the mobile company. And this country will be there. When Celtel can at this country, we not to pop for 3 months. 1 month, they cut you up. Will they buy to pop? You know, they ever know say to pop cheap. Now that make you know, after sell and come in, the little fee call to come and shift. That is what we call price revolution. Price. So it is the revolution. Now not make fear price the good also. And let it consult with duty. And for expose, educate, sensitize the public on why things they happen, why they see the things they happen, so I happen. And that is why we are saying, even if they sell at 22, they can still make profits. Next slide. What makes Zara win the drugs and make the big breakthrough? The Zara is not only a currency, but a dealer, like Aminata, NLe22. So you see, what makes Zara, for instance, not to say that Zara will let go. Zara will be the promoter. So people that is not to say, so I say, be the user for build your arguments. So we only use Zara. Saramela, they only use Zara because one build your argument, the government put the price down. So not to say that Zara will let go. Who that get Zara say, we know one, whether that we are a person, a white person, we know. But we use them so that people can grow. So Zara, so you see the difference between Zara and Aminata. Aminata said the cow came, but why Aminata not say even dealer they put the price down? Zara then broke that record. Now it break the market. That is why every other Sarah should appreciate that. You see, so Zara has fought Yoko. See, listen to everybody say now, una go out there. Now they went and talk, they don't pay the price. If I share you, you know, the people, some of the people are the other ship. You go announce that people say, if your price don't go down, they say petrol 25, diesel 23. But boy, and Shemigo, almost the same, I don't pass it. You want this money? No, not to 27.
No, Leone and sell at 26. 26. Then the diesel is at 24.
You see?
The other filling station was checked, even then the diesel is at 26, the petrol is at 26. That is one mark.
Yeah, but another 24 hours. Now they go. One day I'm telling my way, they say
The diesel, of course, are only 1,070. That is on this end English, but it's of the same 2020.
no, but if Leone they say they don't set at 23, therefore we make a uniform also like that. So they are not honest. They are playing games. You understand? No, because of the time. Oh, you share. They share. No. So now you say no, they share that you. So you see why I benefit the public, you don't take on the public, the revolution, and then why you go to 25, the public, you don't talk about the public, how you benefit. Next slide. Now, the native constitutional recommendation. Look, gentlemen and ladies, we are not only here to critique government. We are not only here to throw the government under the bus. We are not only here to make others look bad. We are here we are not only here to describe the problems. Salonians, over time, we shall describe the problem. We will spend time on attack against them, talk, criticize. We describe. So we are not only here to describe the problem, we are here to give prescription to the problem. So native consortium is here to give prescription to the problem. The problem of Africa sometimes is the wrong prescription. We go after the symptoms to the sickness. We don't go after the sickness. But Johnson, welcome. Principal for Every Nation College. Welcome, sir. Now, when somebody is sick malaria, what is the symptom? They went yellow. Also, then you get the heart. Then you go get the one. Also. But if you go take meds when they make Panadol, when they make you head cold, you don't see many malaria eat. Also, you don't go after the symptom. Now you want to go after the sickness, not just the symptom. The real illness. These are the recommendations. And this is where we want to really rest our head. The recommendation, what do you want the government to do? That should be our message as the media, civil society. That's why we put you guys in this place. We want you to go, we want to tell them what should be the description. How can, sometimes we only castigate PRA, but PRA is limited. PRA is toothless. For instance, Sierra Leone is the only country in the sub-region where we storage and private people are owner. Guinea, no craze. Mama didn't any count here for you. Then get the depot. The big and the government get the depot. Nigeria, the way say PRA, the equivalent of Nigeria, and they buy. That's not where Dangote don't come. So what do we want the government to do? How can government sanitize the sector? That is the recommendation we want to give government. And our next town hall meeting, the next call we call on Naya and the other for Corona. Likely na Makeni or Kenema or anywhere. Recommendation. Government should own plat of product and freight. Now, there are two different plats. Plat, within a plat. Plat is price schedule of the oil market. Meaning the station and so diesel cost, so petrol cost, and the oil market. Whether a food product, whether a refined product, like this cost. That is the plat, the price schedule. Now, government don't get plat over time. Native Consortium, we push this president, the government don't get plat now. So meaning, if oil market just come on, we can't give invoice, say that this is a buy. You follow the plat. So we don't get plat, but it's what we don't get it at the freight plat. The freight plat talks about the transportation cost of bringing the fuel to different destinations. That's the first. Second recommendation. Sierra Leone is one of the one countries, the continent of all the one of the sub-regions, one of that fuel storage. So our recommendation is that we want government to construct 500,000 metric tons of storage facility. I told you guys that our storage is closely about 230. When Guinea the global now, then become store. Guinea become store now, so you reach a point, Guinea one count one product. The government beg Leone say no. The government almost cried. That's what we did tell them. Leone say no. They don't bring. And then you go control it. And they get me the government. Why you always government at us? This was a product of $45 million worth of products. Leone say nothing. PRA talk far, they say nothing. So no government gets you. That is our recommendation. That is the prescription. Government should own its own storage facility around Solima or Schengen, because storage facility then are the coastal waters of the Peter. In fact, even in main cities there, for instance, Go, Makeni, Kenema, you need storage facility there. That's what we are recommending. The other recommendation is that we want the government to allow PRA to be imported here. The government said it can't fail. There is this pom-pom, this narrative that government is not a good business, government is not a good business. Lie. That's fictional narrative. That's nonsensical nonsense. Because people don't want to let government, let them left the private, let them left on a private sector there. Just let people have to work out, find out. So PRA, the next call report is another August meeting. We want to let government, let PRA begin out here. So when you do that, the way creates the competition, then nobody not going to shape our government. I think the last one, that's the last situation. Yes. So basically, that is what we recommended, and we want governments to own plots. We want governments to construct 500,000 metric ton of storage facility. It can be a PPP model or BOOT model. For instance, the airport. The Turkish airport is a BOOT funding model, meaning build, own, operate, and transfer. So you can come someone, they can't build a home around Shege, can't build 10,000 a home, build 10,000 a Makeri, build 10,000 a Gambia outside the not outside the country that I'm on that place. No. If I'm outside that JTD, fine. You build the back, remind you to get Marampa, build a block, and probably the renter, they will study. So I think, without much ado, I think that is where I will stop for now, and then I will look out to chair and then entertain questions. Clap now, clap for
You can do better than that now. I think it's not just this. A lot of things the way they talk, way so we are used to. How to calculate, we don't know Burana, OMC, but today we know them. So I think let's give another round of applause to Edmond Abu and his wonderful team. Also, you want here team. This is good. And also the people that we make sure see we are working and that's more money where they will manage to put people together. Let's clap for them as well. Because this is a bread and butter issue, let me say, the focus on how it affects how 120 will become 90 billions now for Vito for Kaya, and how Okada and other prices will go to 4 billions, 6 billions as we don't discuss. So we are going to entertain questions. Like I told you, we get students from across the 16 districts and we will take 5 questions from students and we'll take 5 questions from bloggers and journalists. Why? Because we don't have enough time. So I can tell us, say, you guys have to compare notes. If by adventure somebody want to ask a question, or you don't ask the question where you want to ask, but tell you what different, but the same thing, context, not ask again. Please. So please, who wants to go first? We'll take 5 questions. And we won't forget question already thought-provoking. Tell me if you're a journalist or you're a student. So student, let me see your hands first. Student, you have a question. I have 5 and then most hands don't go up. Let me see the hands. No, that's the hands that will keep decide. Students, female students, where are you? Questions from students? Yes, 1. Yes, another student. 2. Yes, 3. Yes, 4. The last one, I want a woman, a female. Who wants to go? Okay, we'll start with you. Your name? Your name, okay. Just your name and your question. Make a brief.
Me now, Augustine, right now. And I want to know within native consortium will do to make government who own your own plat. That's my first question. Question number 2. Allow me. How you feel say native consortium is that? How you feel say be able to help to make government go own in your own storage facilities?
Thank you. We don't take that question there. Mr. Edmond, they take notes. He will respond to the whole block. The next one, and this gentleman, your name is and your question.
I am someone from every nation, and my question is that now I have learned that fuel price has reduced to that of 23 euros, and for example, I've been to fuel station to purchase mine, and I noticed that the fuel is 27. What should I do to convince them and also to adhere that the fuel is 23 euros?
Alright, thank you. From your own small land, you will get here. CSOs, Virginia also in there. We also don't forget to know, but so prepare a question to recognize you. From your small to a big now, this 23 euros is just for diesel, and 25 is for petrol, but not official price. And then they make them, the go and say, he makes them affect themselves for please PIA or we the people of Salon, and they know to the river. But we all aim, and for like come to 22, also even now, the way they take and say, the calculation we will not do today, they can say for any come up past that. But Mr. Edmond, when and the we'll talk more about that. Yes, the next question, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Mina Arosha Superior. My question, they go like this. What is the benefit the government is gaining from this fear issue? Because from the explanation of Mr. Edmond, in not every say government they can't fear for say, in not every say government is say, but why is it that government will give direct instruction for them to reduce the prices of fear, waiting at the benefit to them get? Then secondly, the most important aspect at the first side, how the reduction of fear will affect especially the cost of rice in this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very interesting question. Yes. You are not million. You are million. Okay. 2 of you. We don't get 3 questions. Now 2 of ladies. Who wants to go first?
Good afternoon. Me na Kadafu Kainesi. The question I want to ask now that how we will get the drivers, the Okada riders, the Keke riders to reduce the price or match the fuel cost in the market, because somebody will tell you say now the private property and how we want to put the price, especially the Okada riders, how we will get that for happen.
Simple. From your small land here, a recommendation with Mr. Edmond, they take your say. Now then we for push students all my way there and say, government do this. If government do that 27 now official, government they write back say okay now 22. As you do that, they also they can do by recommendation. Right.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Juliette Jones from International College. According to the recommendation that a time to bring here, NCRC time to comment there, even with this recommendation, did we think that even the tankers and the dealers here have part to play for the price to come down?
Mr. Edmond, the expert, will tell us because he knows more about those ones. You want to take the next set? Yeah, it is us. Okay. So get here the CSOs, trade unions, and also our journalists and bloggers for the next set. Thank you.
Yes, now there's this last question. You say, if I'll be tanker drivers and the dealers, but you know who are the tanker drivers? I think you say they get margin also. And the revolution, how you learn the tanker drivers, and imagine right? So the tanker drivers and dealers, they will not really concern about it. And I make it the multiple questions over the place. Understand? So the tanker drivers and dealers, they say they price the formula. They really not concerned about it. Yes, they make profit, but then you see a profit, they hide. So waiting we concern now, we buy, we consumers. How will they affect GBLs and Cocoa and Pepe? How they affect the transfer price from go to freedom? So go to market. 90 concern when they make profit, that I can tell you for sure. And if I would tell and see the make profits, initially the first post will tell me this country say what a 5% they sell, they buy here at 24. People know the issue. And come now, we are on the two decision, they say on a discount. What's not discount? When they buy 27, when they buy 24. Then on top of that, Waka 5 was still not put the price down. They make that when a government's party, own government was 24. So now, all we took lot of people they don't know us, not true people. Because if you buy 24, Waka 5, then now we don't see inside Leone oil. Don't look at 23, that is true. So they are safe, my sister. He said, how can the drivers put the price down? We are calling on the Minister of Transport. When once, just like the chairman said, when once the price of fuel benefits and drug, the next one will be launched under the Minister of Transport. If not death, yes, possible. Or if not we make a copy well. Because we tell President, they also sack the minister. You know, pay for the minister. All other ministers from the days of Bakaba to APC, anytime they put the price of fuel low, you see they put the price. All the price, you know what you say? Yeah, do the driver there. They will say simple. When she government up that price, don't know. And government up that day, but this new government minister, I started saying you understand what the person. So, you have another day. And how did they do it? What they do is 16%. So the last 16%, then they translate it to the driver, the protocol, the alpha distance, the KY, not to the calculator. The other question is saying, why can't government put the price down? My brother was asking, I see that in appearing, and the question because we still ask, why the appearing and still the price? But I don't know my intelligence, when we this live stream, they say government not put the price down. How to collect government put the price down at the table? Now, how much you will put at down? Because now tomorrow government can put at 26. We say, government, no need the reduction. But then also said, what's it 26? When they say they put an to 23, buy mobile, last. No, 22, I also said they will say, okay, what was it, buy mobile? Last. Fix 23, buy mobile. So, parents are supposed to answer that question. The media, the media then I put local, carrying it, they answer that question in there out now. We don't consent emotional. So the government they look at the conscience, they say, no, don't believe it. So the government go for what is the benefit of the government? Well, now take for instance one of the benefit the government gets. Take for instance, government make projects for the year, for the 2020 by a fiscal year. That they go for by fuel and trade. But don't see. Government make a project say go buy 27. Now you know for this year. And government get one of the biggest spender per year. Then all of a sudden the government they give back 23. You know what's standing the same government. And people they tell government, Papa President, thank we, don't allow for thank native consortium staff. So they benefit government a lot. Not only we know what the consumers would benefit government a lot, and government they make savings. The second, how can native consortium help government to make that? That is the problem. Let me say this with humility. I have been one of the pioneers. I was one of the pioneers for the 2005 pricing formula. I will make that formula the base of Pakaba. Remember when we only know NLe diesel and petrol to the same price. Remember, I can't remember. Remember, now Bakaba government can say no and then Jebu the mix is fair. When I'm not before we jump with Jebu now. Then they jump. So then they harmonize the price. So tell Bakaba, say no. Manako. Go here and here come on. They must have the same price. Not the same price. So ever since they made do that then Bakaba created to go strategic stock. So the difference between petrol and diesel, they create a strategic stock where that stock they go they reserve in case they never make like a decrease. In case the one market that they create scarcity, that stock then government they come. When the Escobar government come, they pull that stock, they take all to no high disappear. Okay, fast forward. President Bill government don't come. We don't tell them when this President Bill government come, how are they former president do? What you appreciate, you give all the platform, we need consultancy. When this PRA under Balua, and they never call it Consortium. They say, Echo too ugly for God. If I don't do the price formula, now call that say, no, say the first formula. Me now one of the lead propounders for that formula. Oh, it's a mistake. It's not a mistake, darling. How long will go sit down at the top of here like this one thing? You know, discuss. If I have fall down, they call me now, Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, for what discuss here, for what educate other CSOs. I don't know for calling. Well, that's their explanation. I will ask them privately when they don't call me. I will go there. But again, I have told them that okay, if that's the case, we are ready to lobby. Go and find holders for you guys. So it's not a long beginning when we talk small. You talk to me. So basically, if they take the advice, fine. Anyone only post a job and only post a job, if they call me, we will give a recommendation. This is a recommendation. They force you. They are going to by the grace of God and going to it. So governments, our government are all governments. We need for people, but then we go spend the money, BOT model or PPP. I don't know what's in a BOT. BOT na people operator transfer. Let's only do that. And PPP na public-private partnership. It can be books. So when somebody give that more money, they want to be like $2. Yeah. So that's the way to go.
Thank you. Next set of questions. Remember, I say Creole or English. So journalists will increase our quota to 7 and bloggers. So we go with journalists and bloggers and then the first person I am. And in don't say where you wanna be. And this is also man there. Therefore be biased and a feminist. We want women journalists, female journalists as well. 1, true to you, sir. 3, sir, the next 2 will be female. Yes? You are there. Okay. You are there. Okay. 4 men now. We get 3 space for women now. You might not come. We don't get 4 men there now. Alright, female journalism only. 1 pounder will be 5. 1 pounder will be 5. So we start with our gentleman here. Then at the count to you, sir. Like that, start with this man.
Thank you very much. Mina Asanjuana Kuma, Asanjuana, Ibuche. Thank you very much, Mr. Abu, for the explanation. We don't really take note of her. For us, Ibuche still the fuel price at 27 or 30 up to now, even since this morning. My point here is the proliferation of fuel station has not been the fuel station building and then wet flag. That's my concern. I want to know in as much as the job for let the fuel come down, pump price come down, how would I go work with PRE for let them control the rampant building of fuel stations and as well? While they raise this along this highway, when ABB SNPS at that time, there was a fuel station along this highway with a building as well. The fuel station, water enough for both side. Vehicles every day when they boil, they become a very serious loss to the primary they are. So that is a concern. Please, if let's see Consortium came for what would be our let type of stop, people already be in our land. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I've been saying press release one time. I don't know how seriously. Let me say anybody who have been in the store.
Right. Thank you very much. Of course, me and Nasir Aerospace, the investigative journalist. To start with, I want to commend me on Executive Director and Monabu for a well-done steps. We take, we all give our support. And not only there for as a journalist, are they also there as a civil society activist under the Native Consortium? If we all can recall, in 2015, now the same man is, we take we all as a patriot Sierra Leoneans for fact for me and you for let of public news from Afghanistan and Orange, me and number 9 plaintiff. When he was arrested at the Icon building last year, January 10th, is it? January 2023. Now me, him, and Umo Fufanatina, we just take the shot on and come with God's order, the owner. You can be other person if you don't let this thing. But because of the love for me and you, it continues the fire burning. But one thing where I want for them, we all adhere to. This not get anything for do with government. Now we as a Sierra Leonean take the lead. For now, we don't want government intervention here because when government intervention comes, the revolution they die down because they go on for select the sales stop at 25. That's not what we're out to here. We dare also purposely for make sure we take radical inclusion for development, not for the gain of benefit of any politician. No politician not there we go able to say nothing I make the fear don't become fluctuated. No. Now through the effort, 24 hours around the clock, responsibility of Honorable and the Native Consortium movement. So in real capacity, we for disseminate the message cut across the country as a way that we put a shame on the one that we feel to say, now in the industrial in this country. No compliment for politicians in this issue. Now Native Consortium take the lead. So here, una let go blend the story there, una let the story go accordingly. I thank you.
Very good one. Very good one. You want clap? Clap. You want clap? Yes. So clap for you. Your alarm was up. Then I said this one should be one. Which one? After I had to go down here.
A name na Solomon Joe, the news director and Kiss 104.1 FM na go. Me now I'm person really admire and go in movement and I follow the activities. And this morning I've been with one part in regional advocates or focal person when those of Papa Junior. Then I live on radio. So I put the PRO or PRA live on here. And listen, Mustafa Baka was also on the radio with me. So according to him, when I talked to him yesterday to today, he said, now the crude oil now go down at the world market. And not to the refineries don't go down. So I began to question myself to be opportune to hear today. But then I will tell this August gathering. If what's in the happen between the crude oil go down and that of the refined oil, they say Salomon refineries higher. So now make they no put them down. When as much as that is it, and they consider what's it. But what is the difference? The question is between the refineries and the crude oil. What's in the happen?
Thank you. That's a very good one. Everyone would speak to that. Yeah. But for thoughts for people that don't really begin thinker. Why should you say that? Why is it a good argument? From a layman point of view, if not true in the talk, why is that? And the other one then don't make you put along. Think of.
Good afternoon. Me, Yaya Gabriel, my station manager, Voice of Canada. The questions go. I want to know the magic when it comes to fair price. It's 5,000 in Habitat City. This is the same one in Yenga, the cross-border form. But when it comes to food commodities, other prices, there is differences. What in the ideology behind it? They said 5,000 here in Canada,
I say 5,000, Yama. What's happened? What's the magic way you play at one? Okay. Edmond, the experts will tell you the magic way they play. Next question. We don't get no CSOs and the we don't media and bloggers for so don't come to CSOs and the Amazonian, please. You know media house, right? Number 4, we get number 5 now. We get 2 more media people for go.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I get this question we get for do with that's the most honest OMC. Yeah, when we talk about OMCs, now they think monopoly, they the biggest, now they swim inside the money, and they go from them. You know, we get more than one. Who is the most honest? Then number 2, Leone, now one of the OMCs. We as salon people can serve you. Thank you very much.
Great question. Stop provoking ones. 2 more for journalists. Female reps. Yeah, when I get 1. I still 1 female. Okay, 1 per one.
Mahmoud Fofana. My question is straightforward. Abo NLe22 Consortium. What's the benefit if PIA begin test their own storage and begin sell? What's the advantage to the layman? What's the time bound when they see Consortium, the government alienation of the recommendations there? And if government or PIA going to them, what's next? Finally, any advocacy but for the implementation of the law, because law will show exactly how to be fair and for bill and all of that. But McKinney, I can tell you a fair station the way the bill now, where in fact a near bakery and in the importing houses when I'm going. So any advocacy in regard for the Consortium for
Thank you for bringing that to light. I believe so we'll shed light. We'll shed light. The Daniela and news for we already are for take up and make government go. Last question for journalists. Who want to go? A female journalist not there. All will not be male. Why do you not send a female journalist then? Una get 90s. They don't ask a question. Wait, you don't get no question. Now left farm. Leave her alone. You don't have for now. Okay. If you get any bolia question, whether they ask, are you the DA? Okay. The last one, male journalists, we're not talking. Any media house there, we're not talking. Because no one the same media house but some male journalists, we're not talking. Okay. What's it one say they're not talking? Okay, why are we doing this one for the justice to already come? So that one day they push out to CSOs and the trade unions. Land occupier. Okay. Okay. Edmond, you want to go this one, then we go for CSOs and the trade union. Thank you.
Yes, also, Mr. Chairman, I want for to give Mr. CJ 2 minutes. We want to make his statements. Yes. Firstly, with the event money, we want to give trade journalists, students, and the price. We want to put a proposal. Maybe put a proposal. To let us understand the pricing for it. At least that's what I don't know in Uganda, I don't know in other West Africa, I don't know in other countries. We really want to train university students, journalists, media, so they would know because someone don't even know, say, plant, waiting a plant, waiting a refine, waiting a crude. Because the statement by the PR man, you know what person not get talk. It can just talk. And I give a lot for giver. This is about I like the way Mr. Parker handle it. Accordingly, because I see they are already say that's how I go down. The price of La Liga. It's as simple as giving up on. So that's going to help. One at regional side, they really take they will because when they build an alliance now, build alliance. So now all they become monitors. If after this, I got to make the chairman, let it be on record because we get limited time. But let we recognize the champions and the heroes. So Monjobi asked about refined products. Well, refined products, there's no the price, when fuel price can run by the crude oil, it reflects on the refined product. So difference no need. So that talk the man talk really is a non-starter. So it's a no-brainer. So if you come up, you never ask the petrol dealers why make the fuel price go. The same thing. You see the compensation. Yes. You ever they talk about refined product difference and crude? If that was let's say on the act, you never know what it is. Sometimes they ask whether there is a difference between crude and really refined. What you know, you don't go. Now go what you don't go. So then we look at that question. They say, why is the price the same? Yeah, Abraham of Kenema, my brother, is one of our champions and hero in the whole native Consortium for a law. We will recognize you. I'll tell them about the distributor. Who are the players in the distribution? Dealers. Now, what is the supply chain? Supply chain is any movement, anything that moves the chain, the network that moves this shipping bag from this point to this point. That is supply chain. So if this bag pass here, it goes so even if you don't go by, it come back. Once you don't reach this point, supply chain will happen. Now, why it didn't happen to rest when it happened at fear? Because inside the pricing formula, when they give the drivers, so the driver will not fit on the margin of 70. So that driver will go left here now, Kailan. The own margin is different. So it didn't actually affect the price. I think the drivers are all the same price. So the drivers, the tanker drivers margin, the transportation margin, within freedom, for instance, as it passed through road, it's different. As it comes by Shaka, so they give you margin based upon the distance. That is why you find out that the all price is the same. But the question they ask Leone will be very ridiculous. Why make Leone reduce time at 25? In the fable and picture of 25, 23, they will come line. Then why did you find out say, imagine MP gets about 150. MP, they get more than they get the biggest. Then now let's say they wait for complete. How do they wait for complete? And at the same moment, when I want 8 days, they go to the second us. Then now they get the largest. So let's say they wait for complete. So that's it. Then again, we come to the rights with regards to how you reflect on the rights here. And this is the problem when you take Consortium get to the government there. Government not fair to put the rights law, but it still not reflect on the cost of price in the market, which is unfortunate. That is why we need to put the government to then fit on the fire. Say, una monitor. And we don't let our road standard you. We don't let our Minister of Trade, we need to get trade monitors. The government to the chief minister, they don't try. They don't try for They've not had the rest. So when they leave, they don't have the same. They follow them. Because, but actually, the rest price normally, sometimes it can be slightly different offline. Because they don't set to another formula. The another formula, they create a formula, a standard formula. When they take it from here to this way, and so they pay the standard driver. They don't get. So if I not say so, the rest is cheaper and free always, also now, than white dress, than offline. See? Back you, the average, if I don't tell you, say, they were back capital consumption. They say the average Sierra they eat about 132 kilo of rice. Meaning the average Sierra they eat 3 bags of rice a year. It's very scary. And we get hypertension. We keep the tax here, they say high blood pressure. Because the back is too much. We put Nigerian, we put Senegalese, we put Sierra. Sierra ain't money, rest. Something, rest. If it rest, and get high cholesterol, not healthy. So now they say, we eat rest more than any other Africa. They say the average Sierra they eat 3 bags a year. Very scary statistics. So, you say, what is the magic? So you say, what is the magic? So now the magic land there, the magic is the transport. The one that they transport. They get a different magic. So the margin will not be the same. When they transport go now, the different from the margin will be different from one way they go transport now Jero or Kailan. That's the magic here. The other one say Difficult, the first part, I don't get the first part. You see, whether they honest. You see, don't make something clear. They were not to religious people. Not to maslasi. Even Zara on the press racing, not to say now sweet, good person. I know an instance about African in communion. Now got it. When they can make fine. Okay, now give free call. Then they give you free call. Not knowing that we are eating sweet poison. Sweet poison. Then they change. So now they put the option on Zara and say, no, we'll change you. But take the change now, the revolution now. So we need the revolution. What was Zara doing it? And the revolution will happen with the cows and the markets. So, GP, let me pass so they all are profit they make. And if they get any way, for them to put 1 million, they don't put 100 news. They will do it. But just that we need, I think, recently for Zara. If I remember, we don't give the award. We don't follow it. We don't give the for same about we don't recognize Zara. No, we don't give the award. If I will give one, give the award back. So, Mr. Fofana for McKinney, the McKinney, I think almost people that know McKinney, 3 or 4. Yesterday, Hope Radio called me for McKinney. I tell myself, before they call me, when I go first on the streets. This armchair journalism forever. No any evidence. I know that anyone already gave any other evidence. Not so money we can get, they go take journalists, they go to Nazala. When are we spending? Not to say that money get. Now just that one proof to una, say una look at. Now people they tell some of una what they call them. Not to hey, because at the end of the day, a snake I can change. Now not begin to say why they talk to Zala so tell me that no. As if they always say this. If you come business, when you sorry, they so try this arena and they grip the business and the market for you. You are not doing it, you are not they don't have concern, they don't have for you. You must be sorry. So that is why we are a little magnanimous and benevolent to it. So with regard to safety, that is not for one we are in a standard bureau. When I went to one of the district, the standard bureau they go. Do they have? When I come Kaine, Makeni Falaba, when I come Kamala. Oh, if you know that, originally Makini Falaba, when they give you the headquarters down, you know what they Falaba. So the standard bureau, we need for reports. We invite them. They will tell them not candidates. I don't tell them what they say. When they pay for that hotel room, don't tell them. Don't invite you now. Don't tell them. Free not to do money. You say no, come, no come. Then they will tell them they for who tell money back. So what do they at the free? Oh, it's the so that's not represent a hard land. The people in the business, so I'm not making it go there. So close to the key. But actually, safety standards, PSS are not supposed to be in a crowded area. You see some CSS there, and they come with chili, good chili. You know, and that's station the way man and rabbit, see population and the bar and the club. You know, safe. That's for safety standard. Not safe. Because anything you have. What's the question you want to get? The time back for good. But you make some. Well, by the way, representation government on appear, they don't actually give to one kind of recommendation. They don't put flats now. Like I tell you, as possible, we continue to push it. Like I tell you now, we don't mind for any collaborator to PRA for the next community and discuss that. You understand on the recommendation, and then we ask the people on the way forward. You understand? I think they get appetite for that. They look at appetite. So because those people see Edmond as Edmond, demon Edmonds, ugly Edmonds, but when I complain because again who benefits? Oh, I'm not the benefits. I'm not sure now waiting on government the benefits. I'm not sure now we the photo by the the benefits. Even the dealers are not sure the benefits. So everybody benefits. The only person they cry for this is that them greedy dealer. When they want to 5 news profits, they want to be the station 10 all over the place. And they want to do the fight against. So Standard Bureau, in fact, they work for Candy Award. We do a research, Mr. Chairman. We do a research in Abuja last year. Now 3 stations, and they sell food. 3. When you want to catch them, you know what? Any station where they go, they say, no, we don't measure an account. Watch that station, they need to